Tell me, what proportion of your time do you spend influencing other people, influencing your stakeholders, your colleagues, your peers, your team members? If you're in middle to senior levels, chances are that is going to be quite a high figure, definitely 50%. Probably the typical answer I'm getting is 75 to 80% of your time. But have you ever thought of actually becoming a professional influencer? Because that is a key part of your job, and it should be in your job description, and it certainly should be in your development plans to continue to develop that part of your activity in a big way. Now, I've been doing and working in this subject for a long time now, over 10 years. And in that time, I've seen a lot of people who are really exceptional at influencing other people, and what I'm now calling professional influencers. And I've noticed a number of key elements to the way they are made up, the things that they do, and the way they conduct themselves, that I'm calling the 9 traits of a professional influencer. And what I'm going to do now is quite quickly go through these, share them with you so that you can start to get to grips with what success might look like for you. So when you do become exceptional at influencing, when you master this topic, this skills capability, this critical part of your job, what might you look like? What might you sound like? And it's where these traits come in, because if you can see the destination, you are more likely to be able to move quickly towards them. So the 9 traits come in 3 different sections, and the first section is really about what people are, what these professional influencers, how they're approaching their work, their job, their role as an influencer. And the first trait is conscious. People who are really good at influence, they're very aware of what is going on around them. They have looked at all of the agendas. They know who all the key players are, all the powerful people in their arena, and quite likely outside of their arena as well. All of those that can make a difference to the decisions that are being made, they're aware of. They know where they've come from. They know perhaps where they're trying to get to. They know what their professional agenda is and their personal agenda. And they've got an intuitive sense of the way they may be playing it, which then starts to lead into, with this great big mass of intelligence that they've got at their disposal, they then start to consider what it all means. So looking for the patterns, looking for the way different people come together, the way they work together, the way they clash, looking at how all of these agendas are making a difference in the overall dynamic, the political dynamic that is going on within the arena where they wish to perform, to succeed. And so they're considering it, putting all the pieces together, joining all the dots, so they've got a very accurate representation in their mind of what's actually going on. And then they start to become very careful about what they do, because they can see, because they know of all the agendas, they can see how they're potentially going to impact that political dynamic within their arena. And so they take a considered view, a considered and careful approach to intervening and engaging within that dynamic. They know what any action that they take, what consequence there is likely to be in the to the agendas of the other powerful people within that realm, and so they make sure they time it well. They are careful about when they do things. They are careful also about who they do it with, the way they approach any individual influence attempt or political act, because they know what those repercussions can be. They perhaps are careful about the timing of when they make an intervention because of other things that are going on within the social fabric of the organisation, or within the business strategy or something like that. So they behave very carefully. So in this area of the traits, people are very aware of what's going on, so they're conscious. They consider all of the different factors very carefully to actually pull it all together, and then they start to act and engage in that political environment in quite a careful, well-planned, considered manner. And so those are the first 3 traits. Then we move to the middle three, which is a little bit different, because these are about the manner in which they engage in the political environment within their arena. And the first thing that I've noticed is that people who are really good at influencing are quite challenging, not only of themselves but of other people as well. So they will really challenge the assumptions that they are making about what they know of others, but they will also ask other people to challenge their own assumptions, to actually really push the boundaries of what the team believes is going on, what the unit believes is going on, and what could be getting in the way of succeeding and achieving the objectives that they're pushing for. And they are almost quite demanding as well, because they know the environment well enough to know what people are capable of doing, what the entity is capable of achieving. And so because they're good at influencing, they will also be pushing those boundaries and challenge the preconceived notions of what's doable, what's acceptable, what's feasible. And that's really good, because that means these professional influencers are really achieving some superb results, highly ambitious, because they can know they can get things done. The next thing is that they're generally very charismatic, and charisma is sort of quite often regarded by many people, particularly people of high integrity, as something slightly dubious, because it almost assumes and makes, and again that's an assumption, but it makes the assumption that people are trying to hoodwink others. But actually, when you look at what charisma really is, it's about helping other people to feel valued, to feel important, to be listened to. And so people who are really good at influencing make people feel good. They listen to them actively, not just nodding their head and yes, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand. No, that, oh, well, how does that feel for you? Or what's going on? Or, oh, no, I can see where you're coming from, but what about? So they're really actively participating. And as they are doing that, they are making the individual that they are engaging with feel really like the centre of their attention, genuinely the centre of their attention. And that makes the other person feel really good and quite open to suggestions and to influence from the person that is giving them that attention. But this is something I think that is really quite unique, well, not so much unique, but quite distinctive in the portfolio of a professional influencer. The other thing that I notice about the manner in which they engage is that they tend to be quite compassionate, quite human orientated. They understand that on the other end of this particular exchange and this particular issue that they're dealing with in the business is real people with feelings, people with emotions, people with lives, and the consequences of what they do, they know are going to actually hit at a personal level. And so because they're so good at influence, because they're so confident of being able to get what they want, they start to display a greater degree of empathy for the human interaction that is going on. That's not to say they sympathise, but they can actually genuinely care for other people. And that has a way of almost like warming the relationship, even when tough things need to be talked about, decisions that might be unpopular are being made. These professional influencers have got such an almost like an aura around them that people know that they would only be doing it if it was absolutely necessary. They genuinely care for the people that are being affected by the work that they're doing. So you're really good at influencers, professional influence, because they know what they're about, because they can do what they need to do, they relax and can give the space to that human consideration. And I think that's a really important characteristic for so many reasons, but particularly if you are looking to become a professional influencer, developing that compassion and being able to display it and engage with people in a very compassionate manner is going to help your influence no end. And the final set of traits or characteristics of a professional influencer that I notice. And these are more results of the preceding 6, I think. But people who are really, really good at influencing within their arena tend to be quite calm. And I think a lot of this is about they know what's going on. They know what's really going on. They know the games that are being played, the strategies that are being unfolded. They understand the context in which all of the different people are participating. They know what they want to achieve. And, well, they can relax because they know they can handle it, or they know what they can't handle, why they can't handle, and so they don't stress about what they can't do. But they are, and they have a track record of being able to get done what they need to get done. So, hey, they chill out and they relax, which also means that they're very confident. They're confident in their ability to move through the issues. It's not that they don't have issues, it's not that they don't have problems, but when they meet them, they know what they're going to do. They know how they're going to diagnose the problem, diagnose the situation, work out what the different factors are, and come to some sensible conclusions, and then start to execute. They know how to do that because they've done it so many times before. And this isn't an accumulated capability that gives them this confidence that whatever's coming at them, whatever situation arises, they will be able to deal with it if it is possible to deal with, and if not, then they'll probably have a number of other options as well. So they really do relax, they're nice and calm, and they're very confident. And that also means they can be even more challenging because of that higher level of confidence. And so again, this is feeding back into the other traits as well. And as a result of all of this, they become quite comfortable. This doesn't mean they're lazy. It doesn't mean they're totally relaxed and sort of not really bothering or doing anything, but they're comfortable with their lot. They are generally where they expect to be, want to be, believe they can be. They've got a clear notion of what they want to achieve in the near term and probably the longer term as well, and they're very comfortable with their lot. And people like this, people who are really, really good at influence, tend to be quite happy. And that's really good. And particularly, I find a lot of pleasure comes from seeing this emerge in people, because that means people can then have their personal life and their business or professional life separated quite well. And they can leave the office at the office and go home and spend time with their family and loved ones and their leisure pursuits and what have you, with comfort, with the confidence that things will be okay when they get back, rather than having to get stressed or worried, which has huge benefits, not only for their family, but for their own physical well-being as well. And so this is why I put all of these together as almost like a call to action and as a vision for how you can be as a professional influencer, that you understand what's going on, you interact in a very positive way, in a challenging way, and you're confident that you can handle it. And everything that we're doing within this business and within all of the courses that we offer is driving people towards this vision of where you could be, where you want to get, so that you are able to influence what matters most to you.